EAGLES, Eagles.
And welcome in, everybody, to a Monday morning edition of Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports. I'm your host, Zander Krause. That's my co-host, Johnny Mac, John McMullen, fresh off a nice warm weekend in the area, if you're local to the area. If you're not, I hope you all had a great weekend. Johnny Mac, hope you had a great weekend. How you doing on this Monday morning, my friend?
Yeah, some nice hot weather, which is pretty nice after the winter we had, I would say. But it'd be nice to have a spring too,
Right.
It'd be nice to have like 70, 75 degree days, but we either got to turn the heat on or got to turn the air on.
I mean, literally,
Let me open the windows for 3 days.
I know, it's crazy. We went from Friday, it was like a little chilly. It was like 50 degrees or whatever it was. And then, boom, yesterday it's like 85. It was scorching. It was nice, though. I didn't want to complain about it because I was looking for some warmer weather. But you're right. Spring was not here this year. So no doubt about it. All right, Johnny Mac, a lot of good stuff happened. Obviously, we ended the week last week with the Eagles schedule, which came out on Thursday night. So we did our win and loss. We talked about it on Friday with Caden Steele. As we sit here on a Monday morning, where are you on everything that, as we kind of have evolved from that? Always have differing thoughts after you've been able to sit on it for a little bit. Anything changed for you about what we learned Thursday night going into Friday for the Philadelphia Eagles schedule in the upcoming 2026 year?
No, the schedule thing, and I give the NFL credit because they branded the thing up and done a tremendous job with it. But it shows you how meaningless it is by how quickly people move on. I mean, it's like, well, now the logistics, and again, that's important for certain things. If you're traveling to games, things like that, planning, especially, for football fans that have to deal with family on holidays. It's not the greatest schedule in the world. Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Eve, yada yada. But people move on quickly because it's not that big of a deal. You already know going in who you're playing. So basically, it comes down to the dates and times and TV networks, which is what it's all about at the end of the day. And look, you can look at certain things and say, this is a good theme. This is a good theme. This is a bad theme. But overall, and I've learned this over the years, and I say it all the time, if you're really good, you're going to win. And if you're really bad, you're going to lose. And the league is built on parity, and they try to have everybody parity. And, it tends to be a week-to-week league. But as the Eagles proved in 2024, because the schedule was a big story that year because of Brazil, none of it mattered. None of it mattered. And the early bye week as well actually helped them. That typically that you would say this year the bye week is great. Week 10, I mean, almost you can't be smack dab in the middle because they play 17 games now, but 9 games before, 8 games after. I mean, that's almost perfect for a bye week. But and again, we also that's pretty bad bye week after 4 weeks, how early it is, and they go win the Super Bowl. And They take off after the bye week because they made some changes during the bye week, and they go win almost every single game. And the only game they lost is a game they should have won, but Jalen Hurts got a concussion 6 minutes into the game, and I think they were leading with 6 seconds left in the game until Washington scored. So
yeah, I remember that. Yep.
That's how dominant they were. And the schedule didn't matter. Do I think they're going to be that dominant this year? No. So it'll matter a little bit more, but they're not going to lose because of the schedule. They're not going to lose because of the NFL hates them, or, people go down that route, which is insane, as I always say. 5 consecutive years, five primetime or more appearances. It'll probably be more with flex games as well. And since the turn of the century, they've fallen to 3. So they're 1 game behind the Green Bay Packers now. But it's Dallas, it's Green Bay, it's Philadelphia. That's who's on television the most.
There you go, man. Eagles are becoming really the Eagles have really risen in prominence in the last. They've always been a prominent, obviously, an organization, but they've really it really feels like they've risen to the cream of the crop of the league recently. John, I think that's a great way to look at it. Like you said, glorified logistics. It's changes some things, but it doesn't mean everything. So good stuff there, John. I want to talk a little bit about some of emerging players in Philadelphia before we get. I'm sure we're going to have Jeff Kerr on this morning. I wanted to start the show with this because I was thinking about this over the weekend. Where you have a team that has really had a lot of players, especially on the offensive side, that are that have been cemented in for a long time. They're veteran players. They've grown and, flourished here in Philadelphia. Well, now you finally, for the first time in a couple of years, you have some opportunity for some new blood, if you will, to come in and make their impact on the team. And that's obviously true, again, on the defensive side of the ball, which has been true for the last couple of years on defense. But when I say to you, John, who's an emerging player this year for the Eagles that could go from small impact to big impact? I don't think it has to be a rookie. I think it can be anybody. Who comes to mind for you right away, J-Mac?
Well, of the newcomers, I mean, it does come down. The obvious one is Jonathan Grenard on defense, but offense, I mean, your premise to start is correct. There's not a lot of opportunity, and the one opportunity will go to a rookie, essentially, and to a lesser extent, Dontavian Wicks, and that's because AJ Brown will be traded after June 1st. And congrats to AJ who got married over the weekend. But
I saw that. Congrats.
And there's not a lot of opportunity because all the guys are entrenched. Now, you could argue, should they be entrenched? Are they descending? Should there be more competition? But that's the reality of the NFL. Right now, they're locked in. Saquon Barkley, running back, Dallas Goedert at tight end. The offensive line locked in despite the injuries, the injury concerns with Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens. So the one opportunity is wide receiver. And you have two guys, Mekhi Lemon, the 20th overall pick, and Dontavian Wicks, the trade pickup, who are going to be relevant to this offense. So I think, that's one of the things that is the earmark of a good team. There isn't a lot of opportunity. The worst thing you want, there's two things when you look at rosters. One, if you got a bunch of undrafted free agents, that's not a good sign. And B, if you got a bunch of competition, that's not a good sign because that means you're struggling to find people. The Eagles,
solidified.
Yeah, the Eagles are not struggling to find people. Now, there's give and take to that. Phillies fans during the glory era of, Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, those guys kind of lived through it. When you stick with it a little bit too long, you can make an argument that's what's going on with the Eagles offense. But I mean, until you complete, and this might be the year, this might be the final year for, even though we've been saying it and people are probably talking about it, it could be the final year for Dallas Goedert here. Could be the final year in his career for Lane Johnson. We don't know what's going on with Landon Dickerson. Could be the final year here for Saquon Barkley. And then you'd have significant change. But other than AJ, it's leaving for different reasons. Not a lot of opportunity for the young guys to play, even Eli Stowers, I think, because it's going to be difficult to match Dallas Goedert with Eli Stowers unless you want to make Dallas Goedert the blocker 100% of the time and basically maybe a little bit.
Which is not the right move for an aging player.
No. Who coming off a bad season as a blocker, by the way. So I don't see a ton of opportunity for young players on offense. I just don't. Now, injuries can crop up. That will give, certain guys a chance. But you're not hoping for that. As far as legit competition, though,
Could they split him out, Eli Stowers, and try and line him up in, I don't know, a slot role or some sort of receiver role? I know they already got a crap load of receivers.
Well, yeah, they could. I always say, we went through this with Saquon Barkley. Like, look, no matter how you go to, no matter how good you are as a running back, you're not as good as Darius Cooper as a receiver, with maybe the exception of Christian McCaffrey. No, the same thing with tight end to a little bit of a lesser degree. But no matter how good Eli Stowers is as a receiver, and he's very good, and he projects, and he has a very high ceiling, he's not Dontavian Wicks as a wide receiver. I mean, you're making yourself, if you're using Lemon and Smith and Stowers just because you want to get them on the field instead of Wicks, you're not as good. Now, can you do it occasionally?
I guess the way to look at it the other way would just be like, are you trying to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers? Now, I agree with you. I don't, he's not going to be as good of a receiver. Just like we thought, I used to argue with you about this with Saquon. John, Saquon can be the receiver.
I don't blame you because a lot of people. I don't blame,
but he's not a better receiver than Jahan Dotson. So I get it. But do you want the ball in the hands of the playmaker, Saquon versus Dotson? That's what I think the difference would be. But
again, you could do it judiciously and do it and manufacture a touch or do something like that's fine. But this mentality of doing it consistently is not going to make you a better team.
Right.
Now, yeah, if you got a package and you got something like you want to set up a wheel route for Saquon, great. Sometimes it works. But you're not going to do that stuff consistently.
What kind of snap count would you expect Eli Stowers to get this year? 100, 200, 300?
I mean, we'll see how much. I think a lot of it depends on a lot. It depends on how good Lemon and Wicks are right away. Like who's better, Lemon and Wicks or do you want to go like the Rams did and go to more 12 and 13 personnel? How many blockers do you want on? I know nobody cares about them, but is Carson Steele going to be on this team as a fullback, or is Cam Latu going to be on this team as a fullback again, or a fullback, slash tight end where he can help at both aspects of blocking? He's a very good special teams player. I wouldn't shut the door on Cam Latu. You need those role players, and then it becomes all right. There's two different, the consistent group, which is probably going to be 11 personnel from what it looks like on paper, versus how much you want to use 12 and 13 and other 21 and other formations. But even that can be, again, just a labeling system, which is because maybe if you do have Eli Stowers on the field, he might be serving the role as a flex tight end. Like, let's say, Dontavian Wicks sprains his ankle. And then all of a sudden you got to go down to Hollywood Brown. He's still probably a better receiver. It probably is, but so maybe if both guys are out, and then you have to go down to Darius Cooper or Johnny Wilson or Elijah Moore, whoever makes the team. Then maybe it is better to go to more Stowers as a receiver, playing that role, and having Goddard and Johnny Munt, or Goddard and Cam Latu, or even Stone Smart.
Yeah, that's a good name. We talked about that name. That's a hell of a name.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all focused on like what do you want to be? What are you best at? And that's where I think, people draw conclusions too quickly when it comes to Sean Mannion and what he's going to do. And people speak in such conviction. I'm like, I have no idea what Sean Mannion's going to do. I know his background. And yeah, you can guess and you can, and usually if a guy grows under a certain group of coaches, he's going to be similar. That's fair. But, I always bring up Gannon, who was, learned under Mike Zimmer most notably, and then Matt Eberflus, and came in and started running Vic's scheme. So you never know. You never know.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting. John, how about from guys who are already in the building who could emerge this year? Think more guys like maybe this isn't the perfect example, but Jalix Hunt, Jahad Campbell obviously is a good one. How about guys who've been in the building that maybe will have a bigger role somewhere on the team? We just talked about the offense. I don't see it much on the offensive side, but maybe on the defensive side, where do you see the opportunity there on this roster?
Well, I think, two things you got to look for is youth and opportunity. And you just brought up the most notable, Jahad Campbell, who's going to be the starting linebacker opposite Zach Baun. And he's going to get to go for 17 games, hopefully. Had it for 6-7 games and did a heck of a job. I think people forget that. And I get why people love Nakobe Dean, because I love Nakobe Dean. Love him as a player, love him as a person. But I think Jahad's better. He's more gifted. He's more talented. And I think that's going to show up. So I think, he's going to make a big splash. And then Drew Makuba on the back end. We'll see if he's healthy. We're going to start OTAs. A week from tomorrow is the first on-field OTA for the Eagles. And I'm not sure when we're going to, the cluster of 3, we get to watch one of them. Not sure which one it's going to be yet, but so I think it's May 26th, May 27th, and then May 29th. And then they'll have another one the next week, and then mini camp the week after that. So we're going to get to see, and we'll, not that it's needed for Drew Makuba this early, coming off a serious injury, but he indicated last time we talked to him that he would be cleared by this point. So that'll be interesting to see. He's a young player that could be very impactful. And then, the position opposite is going to be interesting, whether it's Marcus Epps or Michael Carter or Cole Wisniewski or Cooper DeJean. Ultimately, I think it's going to be somebody who's not even here yet, but, it's hard to project where that's going. And, the defense has younger players who have opportunities to step forward. I mean, you're looking on offense, you have veteran players you're looking to have bounce back years, basically.
Right.
And with the defense, it's still young and you still have these ascending pieces. And Jalix is in that conversation as well. He's still got to get better. He's still got to keep going in a positive direction. Nolan Smith even still young and needs to keep going in a positive direction. And we don't even talk about Quinyon and Cooper because they're so good, but they're young.
I think the fear with them is they were so freaking good.
I know.
Can they keep that up? Because, man, those two dudes have really taken the league by storm. 2 all-pros. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, their defense is so much better than their offense, and I think people have finally figured it out.
Yeah.
It took them a long time.
What's kind of your projection for what that defense can be this year? You think top 5 is realistic thought process, or are you like where's the John McMullen?
Yeah, I would be terribly disappointed if it fell out of the top 10. And yeah, you never say 1.
Right.
They were 1 a couple of years ago, but I would think they certainly have the talent to be top 5. I mean, it is
the other tough part is like last year, I don't know where they ended ranked last year, but they were a better defense than where they were ranked. You know what I mean? That's why sometimes it's
that's another part of it too. I mean,
yeah, I mean the offense had more 3-and-outs than anybody in the league. Yeah, that's going to hurt your defensive rankings.
Yeah, and that's why the advanced numbers are more important than total yardage numbers, which is so antiquated. But that's what they use, so we talk about it a lot. But whatever you like, if you like PFF and the film work, or you like EPA, EPA, they were 8th, which is pretty good. Houston, and if you look at the EPA numbers, Houston was 1, that tracks. Seattle was 2, that tracks. Jacksonville was 3, that tracks. Minnesota was 4, that tracks. Cleveland with Jim Schwartz was 5, that tracks. The Chargers were good last year. The Broncos were good last year on defense. Wow. And the Eagles. All of it tracks. So.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I think the Eagles would have been higher, to be clear, if their offense was a little better. So.
Yeah, no doubt. But, yeah. I mean, that factors in the offense. That's why. I mean, that factors in a lot of other things, including the offensive struggles. That's why EPA is probably better to lean on, even though it's complicated and people don't like it. But it factors in the situations and all that kind of stuff.
Well, no doubt. I do think some of the emerging talent here, John. I like Jalix. Now, I don't know if he's emerging just from a sense of he did get a lot of reps and he's starting to play a lot more. But to me, he feels like the next guy who could become, I don't want to use the word superstar, but could become a Pro Bowl type of player. How's that? Is that fair? I think Jalix could be the next one to get there. I don't know if Nolan has that. Maybe Nolan has that type of upside. I mean, he obviously showed it in the second half of the year in 24, but that's an interesting position to me. You talked about Grenard, and obviously I think we all feel pretty good about what Grenard's going to provide, but who's that next guy that really steps up this year? You have 2 of them that have the opportunity to do so. Which one do you think takes that step forward? I'm pretty high on Jalix Hunt. I think it could be a big year for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're both good players. I do think Nolan is a more it's like, it's sort of like a mini Jalen Phillips, Jonathan Grenard conversation from the perspective of, I think Nolan's the better all-around player, but I think Jalix has the higher upside as a pass rusher, and that's what people like. So, I think the assumption is Jalix is better because he's gotten home more. But Nolan's such a good run defender. And then the other part is the injuries, though. I mean, that's also what put Jalix ahead. But I do think in a perfect world where Nolan Smith is healthy, I think he's the guy. He's the number 2 guy. As long as he's here. And then you have Jalix for when he, leaves. And he can continue to develop as well. But I do think Nolan is underrated from the standpoint of I think people don't realize that's a pretty good player when he's out there. The problem is he's not out there that much. Or I shouldn't say that, but he's missed a lot of time, and you worry about a 235-pound guy who plays the way he plays against, much bigger, much stronger, and he's already hurt the triceps twice, pushing and pulling.
Yeah, and I also think, John, his draft spot, people associate that immediately with the splash player, and Nolan's a good player. He's not a splash player. And maybe that's also what hurts some of the evaluation of him from an an outsider perspective.
Yeah, that's part of it, no doubt. And Jalix made a lot of splash plays last year, especially the interceptions. So,
yeah, right.
When you have a guy like that making 3 interceptions, it shows up. But you've asked Vic. Vic is like, all right, Vic is not one to give out gold stars. It's great when it happens, but it's not like consistently part of it. It's almost like you're putting other teams in such terrible situations. The quarterback is throwing the ball, and he's got the ability to catch the ball, which most edge rushers don't really have that ability, with the exception of very few, and they usually play for Vic. So that's part of it. I mean, if you look at Van Ginkel and all the talk about him, he's the best I've seen in the modern era. And then Jalix all of a sudden pops up with 3 picks.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I got one more player we're going to talk about. We'll do that with the great Jeff Kerr, who's coming up here. I want to thank everybody for being here this morning. Hope you all had a great weekend. It was beautiful weather out. All right. So we had some nice warm weather. We got some stuff done. So I hope everybody had a nice weekend. We appreciate all you guys being here. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Appreciate all you guys for being here. Fredo, what's up? Twiz, what's going on? James Jones, Mayan, what's up? Mike Fittery, Calvin, appreciate all you guys. Steve Ike, Kathy Picara, what's up, everybody? Thanks for being here. Let's go to Jeff Kerr, who's set to join us right now here on Birds 365. You can follow him at Jeff Kerr, PHL. Jeff, welcome to the program on this Monday morning. How you doing here, my friend?
Pretty good, Zander. I was at Dover all weekend. So
yeah, I saw some of your Instagram posting up about that.
Yeah, it was a fun day yesterday. Wish it wasn't the All-Star race, but hey, you know what? Beggars can't be choosers.
See, I don't even know what's going on. Why is it the All-Star race? Why is it not a regular race? Is that changed? Fill me in, Jeff Kerr.
So NASCAR used to have the All-Star race at Charlotte for all you racing gearheads out there. Everybody knows it used to be at Charlotte. It used to be 2 weeks at home. And then COVID hit, and the All-Star race, it didn't get canceled, but everything got shuffled around. So they tried it at Bristol, didn't work. Then they decided, well, we're going to move it. We're just going to move it every year. Went to Texas, it sucked. Then they brought back North Wilkesboro, which was off the schedule for 30 years. I could go into a rabbit hole with this one, but it was a successful race. So they made North Wilkesboro a points race, and they took Dover's points race away for that to happen. So, but they wanted to keep racing at Dover, so they made it the All-Star race. It was a shit show. It was hard to compute.
That's disrespect to Dover.
It is.
Martin Frank's going to be pissed off. I got to talk to Martin.
Yeah. Like Martin Frank was there yesterday.
Was he?
No, he was not.
No,
everybody was at the PGA
I went to Dover last year.
Was Dan Gelston there? He was probably there.
Dan Gelston was at the PGA Championship. I busted on for it.
Right. Yeah, that was cool. The PGA. Jeff, you know what racing I was watching this weekend? I actually wasn't watching Dover. I was watching the Nürburgring.
Watch Max? Yeah.
24
hours. What happened?
Yeah, I saw it. I watched the whole thing. I mean, I watched as much of it as I can, but oh man, that guy can freaking drive. It's a shame what happened to their car. But
you watch it. If you play Gran Turismo and play that track, holy crap, does it take forever?
Yeah, that's a tough track. The Nürburgring.
When we talk racing, I just let Zander and Jeff go.
Yeah, the Nürburgring is, there's no doubt that's a tough freaking track. But all right, Jeff, good stuff. I want to stick kind of on the conversation we had here. I'm going to bring Jeff Kerr into the conversation, and I'm going right to a specific player here. Jeff, I'll ask you first. John, you weigh in after. Jeff, what does success look like for Jalen Carter this year as an Eagles defensive tackle? What does he have to do to get back to, we're paying this guy $35 million, and I'm not going to think twice about it, right? What does he have to do to kind of get back to that type of output for this defense?
I think if you look at Jordan Davis's numbers last year, and I know Jordan Davis is a completely different player, but he started amongst defensive tackles, in tackles. He was second in pressures. The sack number, but the pressures were there. If Jalen Carter could do that and have the sack totals be at around like 6 or 7, it's a really good year.
Yeah, I think he's got to be healthy and he can lift weights, and that'll be fine. I mean, he's so gifted. He's so gifted. If he's right, he's just impossible to block at times. And he's helping others, whether, all of a sudden you're game planning for Jalen Carter again, that opens up things for Jordan Davis or Moro Ojomo and the edge rushers. So, I mean, one of the things I think Eagles fans should be most excited about is the impact that Grenard's going to have on Carter and vice versa. Carter's going to have for Grenard. and those two playing off each other. But he's got to be healthy. And he's
Yeah,
another
we never
guy.
got to see that with Jalen Phillips last year,
Yeah.
how those two would benefit, because like you said, Jalen Carter couldn't lift the weight toward the end of the season.
Yeah, could not. And you know, with that Chicago game, and they play Chicago, week 3, Monday night. That's when it really showed up. And you if you watch that game on film, it was time and time again. It was Darnell Wright just washing out the entire Eagles defensive front.
That's my top revenge game this year. I had to rank the
Yeah.
revenge games, and that was it, because they just got manhandled. I've never seen
really
the
did.
Eagles get
In
manhandled.
In Philly, too.
Yeah.
That was domination.
That is a good player, by the way.
Yeah.
And I have to give my mea culpas to Ryan Poles. Is it Ryan Poles or Ryan Pace? I get them mixed up.
Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles.
They had Ryan Pace, and then they went to Ryan Poles. And I really, early on when they stripped that thing down, it was ugly. But they drafted, when they passed on Jalen Carter twice, as essentially, they drafted Darnell Wright with the 10th overall pick. And it wasn't great early, but man, he has turned into a hell of a player.
The Bears were always that team. Even when Eberflus was their head coach, I'm like, they should not be this bad. And they were. And it turned out it was the coach, it was the staff. And I mean, fixing Caleb Williams helped, but
well, you gotta get a playmaker. But they also rebuilt that offensive line. It's no secret. They went out and got Dahlman, they went out and got Thuney, and they went out and got Darnell Wright, and all of a sudden, bang, they're a good team.
And of course,
everybody looks at Caleb Williams, and everybody looks at Roma Dunze. It's the same everywhere, and everybody looks at, look at that DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monungai. Look at that running. It's the freaking offensive line.
It was the offensive line, and they fixed it like overnight. And it's a shame Dahlman retired on him.
I know, because he was a freaking beast last year.
27 years old, and it was like, okay, guys, check, he's good.
Well, guys, that's going to start happening a lot more. The amount of money that these guys are making, God bless them. But there are going to be dudes who just say, all right, $25-30 million, I'm out. I'm not going to put my body on. I got wife, I got kids, I got a future, I got family. I'm good. I'm not going to.
That's why I keep saying, watch out for Landon. Watch out for him.
Yeah, it's true.
That's why you got to find guys who love ball, as they say. But yeah, that offensive line, I think, was the reason they turned everything around. And don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously the quarterback's the most important player on the field, but I don't know how many times I say on this show, but Zander's probably sick of it, but you can't play offense if you can't block anybody. I don't care who you have.
That's why
you could have the best skill position player at every goddamn position. If you can't block anybody, you can't play offense.
That's why the Eagles struggled a lot offensively last year. Their offensive line just wasn't as good as it was in years past, and there's a lot to go around and blame for that.
And that is so their offensive line, because the big ones are Wright, Thuney, and Dahlman. They lose Dahlman. They get Garrett Bradbury, who's not as good, so that should hurt. But they also brought in Jonah Jackson, and they had Ozzie Trapillo, who turned into a pretty good player.
Jonah Jackson's he's been an underrated player for a lot of years.
Yeah, they're good. They're good up front, and the best one is Darnell Wright. Even though Thuney's been around and made 87 Pro Bowls, but Darnell Wright is a dominant player.
87 Pro Bowls and like 187 All Pros. I feel like Joe Thuney's been like in a conference championship game almost every year of his existence until last year.
Yeah, and he got killed in the Super Bowl, but he was playing left tackle, which
I can tell you just from talking to guys on the Chiefs. They knew that was a mismatch. They said, look, we don't have a left tackle. He has to be the left tackle. And we don't want that.
It's pretty impressive that he could even do it and make the Super Bowl, as a guard moving out to left tackle and not, get exposed until the Super Bowl. But I digress. So, that week 3 matchup, We're going to see, because the Eagles should be motivated, as Jeff points out, because they got beaten up. How many times you say that about this group of Philadelphia? They got legit
not
beaten
often.
Up.
When's the last time we could honestly say they've gotten beat up? Maybe 2023?
Yeah, I have to think that when the last time they got out physical, like
the Cowboys beat them up in Dallas in 2023.
It's always the offensive line. The Cowboys had a good offensive line. That's what the Eagles did to people. They bullied people in 2024. It's always the offensive line. It's so boring to people. It's always
it really is, but that's really what football is. You get a great offensive line, you can win games.
It's never going to change.
Well, it is going to change, but until we get the flag football, it's not going to change.
Yeah, okay, real football, it's never going to change. But people don't care about that.
Yeah, John's right there. With the legislation the way it's going, pretty soon it's going to be skill position players.
Well, they're trying to grow flag football in the worst way.
Oh, they are. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. I think we're going down that route. I really do.
I'm not watching that, so
I'm not watching that.
I put this out on Friday, and people laughed. I said, when is the NFL? They're killing the golden goose, but when's it really going to die? It might happen sooner than people think.
Now, I'm already at a point where sometimes I watch games and I'm like, well, that was a waste of my time. So if they go to flag football, I'm going to be saying that about 98% of the time.
Do you guys like a football game on every day? Like, are you guys crazy about that?
No. I need to recharge my batteries.
Yeah,
but that's part of what makes it like good. Like, you get to Thursday and you're like, yeah, there's a game on tonight finally. You know what I mean? Like, there's part of what makes it good. And I think even the Thursday is a little bit of an overkill. So, I think they're playing with fire. But
if it was back to me, this was always my go-to for I love football. It was, okay, the NFL was on Sunday. You had the Monday night game, and then you had the Thursday night games late in the year. And I'm like, all right, cool. We got Thursday night football after Thanksgiving. Let's go. Or, it was a rarity. If it's not a rarity anymore, you don't enjoy it as much.
No, I agree with that. And, I'm very matchup driven, even on Monday night. I'm very matchup driven. Like, if it's a good game, I'll watch it. If it's not, I'm not watching it just to watch a football.
Yeah, you're not watching Falcons Saints on Monday night.
Well, there's certain, and that's the problem. You have this core group of teams that are in prime time all the time.
Eagles are one of them.
Eagles are one of them. And sometimes there's a changing of the guard, and you have a good team that's never on TV. And it lags by a year. But that's the problem they have. They don't have enough competitive games to build these standalone slots. Yeah. They don't.
Well, remember their issue before they did all these standalone slots? Like, remember in the final years of ABC's Monday Night Football, they would have like a Jets-Dolphins game in week 16, week 17, and they were getting record low ratings. I'm like, well, the Jets and Dolphins stink. People are deciding, we don't care if there's only 4 options on the TV. We'll choose the other 3.
Exactly. I mean, the Jets they didn't get one primetime game, right? The New York Jets.
They did not. 2 years ago, they had 6.
And if they're good ever again, they'll get 6 again because they're a New York team. But if you stink, you stink. Doesn't matter where you play.
Titans fans are loving their schedule. Everything's 1 o'clock. They're like, this is the way football was meant to be. We don't need these primetime games.
Yeah. And if you look at Netflix and Christmas Day, I mean, they don't have every game, right? But what will they have? 2 games? I can't even catch up with who has.
They have 2 games on, and Fox has the 3rd.
So, of the 3 games, I guarantee you one's going to stink to high heaven. I guarantee you. And I don't even know who plays. I'm not looking at the schedule. It's just the way it always works. Same thing with Thanksgiving.
I knew. So everybody was complaining about the Christmas Eve game, right? And I'm like, well, the NFL was always going to have a Christmas Eve game this year because Christmas Eve falls on Thursday, and that's under Prime Video's contract. I think my issue is it's at 8 o'clock. I thought it'd be like at 5 or something.
So John Skipper was on Pablo Torre's show podcast, and he ran a ESPN. I don't know if he still does, but
I don't think he does. I think he's done. I think he retired.
And he was on there saying, we're getting closer to the tipping point. These TV vehicles, streaming especially, they don't need the NFL to succeed. So you've already seen it with Netflix. Netflix is turned into
Yeah.
like a big event. They want big events. Like they had that bullshit Jake Paul.
Ronda Rousey on Saturday night. Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff they want. They don't
They want
want
the home
like
run derby. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want like a package of games. They had the baseball opener and the home run derby. They want big
Field of Dreams
events.
game. Yep.
And nobody has more money than Netflix right now.
Yeah. And you're right, John. They don't need the NFL.
No.
They were getting along just fine without it.
And the same with Amazon. Now some of the other ones probably need it as they try to grow. But at what point, and it's going to impact the other sports before it does football, because they're just going to start cutting, and they already started cutting with baseball. They haven't done it with the NBA, which surprised me. They got a monster upgrade in their TV deals. They moved to Amazon and Peacock and NBC.
And it's funny, everybody hates it because all the big playoff games are on Prime. I'm like, but everybody has Prime. I watch the games on Prime.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, not everybody has Prime, I assume, because Prime's pretty stinking expensive. When
It's
you
worth
factor,
it, though.
when you factor in all the shopping, I get I get Prime packages every day, and none of them are ordered by me. Let's just put it that way. But
I had a boycott of Prime for like 2 years because remember in the early days of Prime when when you had the Prime membership and you had Prime Video and you got all that stuff and you got the 2-day free shit. Well, when they decided to make that available to everybody between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm like, well, this is a bunch of BS. Like, why am I paying for this?
Well, here's my question, and people, because I've gone on, I've had it too long. Can you get just Amazon Prime Video without getting all the shopping stuff mixed in?
No, that all comes with it. It's all together.
Yeah, so that's expensive, man. That's expensive.
It's gonna be. It's getting very expensive to stream everything. We stream. We all got duped. Cut the cord. You save money.
We all got duped. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I had a sports editor. He literally had Netflix, Hulu, and YouTube. That was it. And he paid maybe, I think it was like $21 a month.
Yeah.
Now
it sounds right.
And I'm like, now, and his son has it now. And he's like, dude, it's like $300 a month if you factor in YouTube TV and everything else and paying for your internet. So yeah, we got duped.
No, my dad always jokes about it because he wanted to cut the cord, and he's like, and then now he realizes like all the hoops we've jumped through to cut the cord. I want the cord back. It's easier. I can just flip through my channels. I get all the channels. Now
that's another thing. I don't even watch network television anymore. I mean, if I sit down to watch something, which isn't that often besides sports or wrestling.
You probably watch sports on network television.
That's about it on network. If I'm watching a show or something, it's Netflix, it's Amazon, it's whatever, Peacock, Hulu, whatever. Would never watch a network show. Never. So, they've almost, and if I canceled any of them, I'd get divorced. So they bamboozled us all. And that's one thing when I said it when we talked about Nielsen and Nielsen ratings, and they're changing their methodology.
Yeah,
I'm getting more info on that, by the way. But either way, it's like at some point, and it's already happened with hockey, it's already happened with baseball to a certain degree, where ESPN bailed on baseball. How weird was that?
Yeah. Like they just said, we're out. We don't want it. And they basically gave it minimal effort. And they still kind of give it minimal effort, even though they have a select package of games still.
Yeah. In the NFL, yeah, I mean, the tipping point is coming, man. And when you got John Skipper talking about it,
Yeah.
and saying,
We were
I mean,
we were talking about this the other day. Like we were at the actually it was yesterday. We were at the NASCAR race and I'm talking to a bunch of buddies and they show me the ESPN app and they go, "This is just shows you how much ESPN cares about two sports and nothing else." They had the final results of the race yesterday. They had Chase Briscoe winning the race. He didn't win the race.
well, that ESPN app is a freaking disaster, by the way.
Yeah.
A freaking. Do you guys have that app? It is a freaking disaster.
It is. CBS's app is
app
better.
is it?
The ESPN app, just their
The
app.
ESPN is trying to funnel everybody to their app.
Oh, it's horrible.
And they just buying up everything to get people to have to subscribe to their app. And you do have to subscribe if you want to watch certain things. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't
like John's a WWE fan. He has to get ESPN Unlimited.
Yeah.
It sucks. Like I love the Peacock deal was great. I actually thought the Peacock deal brought in more new fans to WWE. I'm not a WWE, but I watched it because it was already included. Yeah, it was. I'm like, you know what? I have WrestleMania. Or I paid for Peacock. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna pay extra to watch on ESPN.
Yeah. Well, that's and everybody's so greedy. They don't realize like it's penny wise and dollar foolish because to use WWE as an example, well, they got more money from ESPN, so they want the ESPN. But to your point, Peacock did a better job, highlighting the product,
It was
pushing
easily
the product,
accessible. Yep.
much easier to access, cheaper, and it built the company to where it was to the point they could get that deal from ESPN, and they're greedy. TKO's greedy. Let's be honest. They're like the NFL. If there's a nickel to make, they're going to make it. And long term, I think it's hurting. Yeah, it's hurting the product. Same thing with UFC.
It's
UFC
taking away someone like me. My dad used to watch WrestleMania and all that stuff in the 80s and 90s, and then everything went to pay-per-view. He said goodbye, and he said the other day, when WrestleMania was on last month, he calls me up. Can't find WrestleMania. It's not on Peacock. I said, it's not on Peacock anymore. It's on ESPN. Well, do you have that?
Well, they had the first hour. They had the first hour on ESPN, the linear channel.
Yeah.
And then I think Saturday was on ESPN2, the first hour. So that's another part of the deal.
But the main stuff was on the app. And I told my dad, I'm not paying $30 a month to watch WrestleMania. And he goes, I agree with you. I wouldn't do that either.
Then you got to walk them off. You got to walk them through how to get the app and
yeah. Like Peacock, he knew how to get. It was so simple for him. Like Peacock was Prime Video is easy for him. But the ESPN app, he goes, wait, they have an app too? I'm like,
well, and then they kickstarted that thing, the app, so quickly. I don't even think people who have YouTube, like you're supposed to, if you are a cable customer, you're supposed to be able to enter, your cable password such and get the app for free of charge. That's what it's supposed to be. It's been like 6-7 months and people still can't get it. So you're asking people to pay an extra $30 on top of what they pay for their cable bill, which they already pay exorbitant fees there because ESPN's carriage fees are so high. It's like how can a company be that successful and that dumb at the same time? I have no idea.
Because the people leading it don't talk to regular people. That's the problem.
Yeah. Other than they rolled it out too quickly and they didn't have the back end,
I remember when they came out with their first iteration of the ESPN app. Like this is probably ESPN Plus. They did ESPN Plus right, by the way, when they got off to a really slow start and to just kind of build it. But when they really started pushing the app, I remember they were pushing their podcast like ESPN Daily, and they were pushing like, oh, you listen to Mina Kimes and Bomani Jones all day. I'm like, here's the problem: people don't like them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we can get it. I mean,
I like listening to them, but I know people don't.
Their decisions on programming of you could parse through them for we need a whole week of shows to go through that. But yeah, I mean, the whole idea of, when ESPN became popular, it was like Sports Center. Does anybody watch Sports Center anymore? Anybody?
No, I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah, so did I.
I loved it.
Now
I
people
couldn't get
just
enough
pick
of
up
it.
their phone and get
They
highlights.
have the topics on the side. You wait for the topic you want to listen
Even
to.
before the topics on the sides, there's Stuart Scott and Rich
Yeah,
Eisen
well, that was
called
that was
Sports
great,
Center.
too.
It was awesome. It was great.
Oh yeah, I mean that was the whole thing, and now it's become like a sports version of CNN's Crossfire, where you get two opposing viewpoints, even if it's bullshit. They just say, "Are you take this side of the issue? You take this side of the issue," and fucking do that bullshit.
The best thing ESPN has done in the last year, they brought Rich Eisen back to host Sports Center. It's every once in a while, but they put a 90 set and they have it like it was when.
Yeah,
Rich
but nobody
Eisen
watches it
hosted
because they get their highlights off their phones.
Yeah. But it's crazy though. That's when I watched Sports Center when they brought Rich Eisen back, because it's like a memory of my childhood, and they actually play it like it's a regular Sports Center. Scott Van Pelt's Sports Center is really good too at night. But
well, Scott's great, but again, nobody's going to watch it. So how do you combat that? I don't know.
No one watches pre and post game shows anymore either.
No, I'm in that category. I've never watched pregame shows.
Yeah,
I'm like, what do I care what so and so has to say about?
I think people watched Inside the NBA because it wasn't a post game show; it was entertainment.
Yeah, well,
you're waiting to see what crazy things they're going to do.
Funny.
It's a great show. Yeah.
When they did the Vrabel Rossini thing, I busted out laughing. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is on ESPN! This is on their network, and they're doing it. They don't care."
Right, enough about ESPN and their stupid app. AJ got married, Jeff. Let's do gossip.
He did get married.
AJ got married.
Yeah. What are we, the New York
Isaiah
Post?
Rodgers was there. Slay was there. Where was Jalen Hurts? Do we know? Was he there? Was he not there?
Is that what they're talking about on the internet?
Yeah,
Jalen
sure
Hurts didn't go to the wedding. Oh god!
I'm telling you, we should be our own content creators and just make a stupid 5-minute video where it was.
Yeah, it sounds like a People magazine show. I mean,
why wasn't the godfather of AJ Brown's child at AJ Brown's wedding?
We got to come up with some kind of TMZ takeoff. 30 mile zone, which is for Los Angeles. We got to come up with a Philadelphia TMZ.
If you go on certain accounts this week at the PGA Championship, you found some TMZ stuff. I'll tell you what, man. These TV reporters, they're going all out for.
Did you see our Jason Dumas taking strays?
I did see that. Yeah,
I didn't see that.
You know what? I didn't disagree with him either.
Oh, I agree with him wholeheartily, but that is just a dumb thing to tweet. And
and he was like,
and of all people, because Jason's kind of
he's a very pro Philly guy.
Yeah, he's a homer guy. So he was at Aronimink and the PGA, I guess. And
he's been there the last couple of days.
And he just tweeted out, the Eagles' chants are tiresome. These golfers don't care. Philadelphians,
they don't care.
I fear y'all are getting that chant become your entire personality. Yeah, good luck with that, bud.
Yeah,
he's entirely right, but good luck with that.
Yeah, but Jason, they've been doing this forever, man. Like even before you were born.
Yeah,
it is a little stupid. I mean,
oh, it's awful. Yeah. But I mean,
I hated that Phillies game.
Well, the problem is, I have a platform and I appreciate my platform, but it's not big enough to where people are going to come at me like Jason's on Channel 6. So, he's getting attacked left and right. But he's 100% right. Yeah, it's all.
I say to fans all the time, I hate them at Phillies game. I think it's annoying. How would you like it if I did PHILL at Eagles games?
Yeah,
you would hate it. Yeah. So don't do it here. And I love Eagles fans. I think they're crazy, but
it's dumb. It's dumb. Yeah. So he's 100% right, but
he is right. The golfers don't care. Like
I can't believe, guys, the sheer volume. I just typed in because I saw it on X. I didn't really care. I mean, I'm busy on the weekend. The amount of articles written about Jalen Hurts not being at AJ Brown. There must be a mark. People must care
you did
about
not
it.
see any from Eagles
People
on
must
SI,
care about it. I mean, there's 1,000 articles. I'm like,
yeah, I guess I got to write about this today.
Big.
Like, it's crazy. Like,
it's so stupid. God, if you're listening to this show and this is really the things you care about, holy moly!
This is the problem. They don't care about anything that's relevant.
Give a shit. I don't care. What I mean, Jalen Hurts wasn't at AJ Brown's wedding.
How do we know he wasn't there?
Oh,
were you at the wedding?
I don't know. I did see the picture of like what I don't know what outlet put out a picture, but it looks like they either had somebody up in the trees or they had a drone up or something. I'm like, these people are stalking AJ Brown's wedding. It's really a goofy.
And they wonder why these athletes are like they are. By the way,
I know. It's like, come on, man. It's goofy. It's weird.
Well, they had a picture. Speaking of Diana Rossini, they had a picture of her at a restaurant. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Come on.
I'm like, she's a sports reporter. Now, as I said, unprofessional, everything she did, yada, yada. Yeah. The people that know the show, I haven't begged off that at all. But I mean, you guys are the ones who made her into a star.
Yeah.
Why is she a star? Like, why is any reporter a star?
That's not our job. We're not supposed to be stars.
It's amazing to me. And then you go, and you wonder why it's corrupted. Well, it's corrupted because you've turned these people into stars and they're making millions of dollars. So,
like John McMullen reports something and Adam Schefter reports it 2 weeks later. You hear what Adam Schefter said? Well, John McMullen said that a month ago.
Yeah, well, that happens. That's just manic. Well, look at the AJ stuff. All the AJ stuff came from local people first.
Yeah, that's what I think's funny. And Dumas got in trouble for that too, by the way. I don't know if you saw, like because he kind of defended local reporters. He said, no, local reporters have had this stuff. Well, what do you mean? Why don't you break it? No, we have broken it.
Yeah, that one of the funnest things is the Sunday. You just brought up the Sunday morning, pregame shows, the pregame shows in sports, the Sunday morning pregame. The repackaging of news is elite. I love it.
Oh, it is. You could just bring it back and you could treat it like brand new.
Yeah.
My favorite was when I was a paper boy and I was delivering papers like as a side job. This was about 10 years ago. Schefter and Rappaport would always tweet news that everybody knew at like 4 a.m. on Sunday. Breaking, this player's out.
They schedule it.
Yeah,
this
I'm like, come on, guys.
4 and 5 because it's already done.
I'm like, people fall for this crap, but they do.
They do.
I don't get it, and they get mad at us.
Well, we were making it up.
Yeah, all of us. AJ's not happy here. We were making it up. Now it's the media's trying to drive him out. That's the new one.
When's that trade going to break? June 2nd?
Yeah, probably. I think
there's multiple bidders.
Yeah, me too, Jeff. I feel like we've ruled out everybody else. I don't think we should.
Yeah.
Unless the deal's already done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's funny. Like, I was actually talking about this with like one of the higher ups at Sports Illustrated this week. They're like, dude, like, how much longer could you actually milk the AJ Brown train? I said, to be honest, I can't. He said, dude, I can't either. Like, it's like, I think we all know where he's going.
He's going to New England for a future first-round pick.
Yeah.
And there might be
I might write something like that today. Do you guys really care Jalen Hurts is not at AJ Brown's wedding if he actually wasn't? We all know.
Yeah. Well, the assumption is, I guess he wasn't in the groomsmen because I guess they pictured the groomsmen. So the assumption is he wasn't and he probably wasn't, but I don't care enough to.
Yeah, but we don't know if he declined that.
You know what I think is more interesting? There was a story that came out from Toledo and let me see if I can get his name, columnist out there. Let's see.
By the way, was AJ a groomsman in Jalen's wedding? Do we even remember this?
I do not think so. No, they had
Well, then
broken up by that
why
point.
do people care then?
I don't know.
That's usually how
But
it works.
I'd have to check my wedding files to be 100% sure.
Yeah, that's part of John's job now.
We have to
He's
get
gotta-
him out of
he's
the
gotta go check.
incinerator.
Yeah.
My wedding file.
I'm telling you
No.
guys, we can make a nice little
That-
living.
that- yeah,
that
being
was-
the
that was a
TMZ.
Yeah, I'm
Philadelphia-
uninterested.
Philadelphia
I'll
TMZ.
choose a new career if this
Yeah.
is the type of shit we got to talk about.
So
Oh, I know.
Dave Briggs is a columnist for the Toledo Blade, which is the home of Bowling Green, for those who don't
Well, this
know.
is the Scott Loeffler stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good article.
Yeah, and he caught up with Scott Loeffler, who
And Loeffler, yeah. I don't know why I said
he
Loeffler.
he
Taking baseball.
you know, said some very nice things about Jalen Hurts. So you have the people, you know, why isn't this guy just promoted, people? And he's worked, obviously, we know, because Jalen Hurts put it. I'm far more interested in this because this, to me,
Oh, I am too. Like
This is
Jalen's
like
still
a-
working with this guy.
and I'm going to write about this at some point, Jeff. This is like a
I
proxy
think you
war.
and I might be double dipping on this today. So yeah, go ahead.
This is like a proxy war, which, you know, it like a lot of people think Ukraine and Russia is really a proxy war for the United States. Yeah, China, you know, helping Iran is really a proxy over Taiwan. Yada yada yada. If you're a political person,
Yeah, if you follow world news.
this is like a proxy war using Scott Loeffler to give passive aggressive notices. With all the stuff going on with Jalen Hurts, I'm far more interested in that. He's very coachable. You know, as you know, pointed out by someone that he's pushing back on, and he called him super coachable. Continues to work on his work with him, even though he got fired by the Eagles. And Dave,
So I mean, like, is this more evidence though that the organization is not on Hurts' side as much as we would think they are?
Well, I think it's evidence that they're not in the best place. Both of
No,
those.
they're not seeing eye to eye on something.
Yeah,
Right.
both sides are not in the best
And look,
place.
and Jalen Hurts can like Sean Mannion and Scott Loeffler. There's nothing wrong with that, but the guy, like you said, Zander, the guy was fired.
Yeah.
And he's still working with them.
I can't come up with another
I can promise
example of the
people
guy
this.
who got fired
Yeah. Yeah.
that continues to work. Now the Eagles have no control over that in the off season.
I can promise.
But you would
people
think if the
this.
relationship is great, he's not going out to work with a guy that they fired. Or is that, am I overreaching? What is
No,
your
you're overreaching.
Well,
even
here's
in
the thing,
space.
John.
Yeah.
If Patullo was still unemployed, is Jalen working with him too?
I doubt it, but who knows? I wouldn't
But he
think
likes
he'd work with
Scott.
Scott
We all
Loeffler.
knew. Yeah, we all knew he liked Scott.
Nah, I didn't know. I mean, said some faintly praising things at point that I think people ran with. But I don't think I ever know what Jalen's really thinking.
I don't think we ever know what he's thinking. Remember, you don't know what you don't know what you don't know.
I mean, I think the pushback on going under center and throwing over the middle of the field is real.
Oh, it's real. I looked it up.
But I mean, his aspect in it, you know, I don't think he's comfortable with it. So I don't, you know, to me, this strikes as I like the guy personally and want to continue to work with him, and they fired him. So he's probably not happy with that.
The biggest issue with this whole Jalen Hurts and the Eagles thing is, and I think it's an Eagles thing sometimes. It's you want to win games, but you want to win games your way. Well, you're still winning. So what are you upset about?
Well, the offense is, maybe they view it as the defense is a much bigger reason that we win. Like Jeff, for example.
But
this
that's
year the
fine.
schedule
Defense wins
came-
championships.
Well, that is fine, but that doesn't mean you're going to accept that you have the highest paid offense in the history of pro football, and you're good with it being a bottom third.
And that's where I agree with you. By the way, it's a higher paid offense this year. Even with, I mean, that'll go away with AJ Brown.
That's great. That's awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, it'll go away with AJ.
Yeah, but right now
they have the highest for all those people. They're the highest paid offense. They should have the best offense in football. Why why doesn't that work with the defense?
Yeah, they have the second lowest paid defense.
Oh, no, I just mean from an organizational expectation standpoint. Like Jeff's point of, well, they're winning, so why do they care? Well, they're winning, but that doesn't mean they want the offense to perform as badly as it does. That's not to say they need to be the best.
I'm talking about the people that legitimately believe that, well, they get paid the most, so they have to be the best. Doesn't work that way.
That's a Phillies mentality. They make all this money. Well,
you unfortunately, and the tough thing is, as a GM, you got to pay people for what they did, but you also got to project that they're going to continue to do it. And eventually, it's a young man's game. Eventually it's going to blow up on you.
That was my thing with AJ. Like, I don't know why people are so upset. And I wrote about this. You're going to get your AJ Brown's 4 best years with the Eagles, and you paid him handsomely. And that's going to be the Patriots' problem if his knees are bad or if injuries creep up. That's not going to be your problem anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can laugh about it. You can just say, hey, we got the best years out of them. Got a Super Bowl out of them. They didn't.
Yeah, I mean, you can make an argument that this is the right time to get out, not from a contract standpoint, but from because he's clearly having some issues with the knee. And he did decline somewhat last year. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he wasn't AJ Brown last year for multiple reasons.
So you can make that argument. I'm sure plenty of people will now when it does finally end, because they'll want to memory hole it and say, well, he's just not the player he once was.
And the cop out right now is Kevin Patullo. Well, how do we know it's really Kevin Patullo? Maybe it's him.
Yeah, well, Kevin was just a scapegoat. Let's be honest. I mean,
yeah. Oh, but those quotes went viral last week. Those pigeonhole quotes,
which is ridiculous because that's exactly.
Yeah, I was like, here's the real. Yeah, here's the real.
He was basically explaining his job description. That's all.
Yeah, but people don't care about that. They don't even care what the question was.
No.
Are we sure Parks Frazier got fired? People in the chat are saying, well, did they really fire him or did his contract expire? Is that real or is what happened?
Hey, it's Scott Leffler. Parks Frazier is the quarterback.
Not Parks Frazier.
No, he got fired.
Yeah, he got fired. You
don't sign 1-year contracts to be an assistant coach. You generally
don't leave a college job to do that.
Yeah, you generally sign 2 or 3-year deals.
Yeah.
2 for lesser ones. Usually, my guess is his was 3. That's just a guess, though.
So, is there a chance he was fired because maybe Mannion wanted his own QB coach, or is it more organization?
Well, he didn't get his own QB coach. Parks Frazier was already here. He's a Nick guy.
Yeah, Nick wanted to keep him.
Now, why they moved Parks from passing game coordinator to quarterbacks coach, I can't tell you. I asked the question to Nick.
Oh, we had the 26th ranked passing offense. Let's actually make you.
Yeah, let's promote this guy. It might go to 25th next year.
Well, I asked him the question. And he said he's got experience in this type of offense. So he said he's a good bridge. Which makes some sense. Working with Jalen from the old offense because he's got experience in that. Plus, he's a bridge to he's got experience with that with McDaniel. So that made some sense. But he just likes the guy. That's what it comes down to. Likes him as a
quarterback.
Coach.
Clearly likes the other guy.
Maybe he's right. Well, I don't know if he does or if it's just passive aggressive.
Well, John, there's about 1,000 coaches these guys can choose to work with in the offseason. He chose to work with the guy.
To work with him as a. That's what I'm trying to say. Did he choose to work with him as a a
Right,
response to the Eagles.
Which would be a problem in its own right, though, no?
Well, that's why I think it's interesting.
Yeah,
That's why I think it's a little bit of a proxy war. Look, they interviewed, like I saw somebody, a pseudo media person say, this is the guy they should have promoted. I'm like, they interviewed 17 guys to be offensive coordinator. He didn't even get an interview. They just fired this guy. Like, I get people like, and for everyone proclaiming, and Scott Loeffler, and by the way, I'm in the same boat. He might be the greatest quarterbacks coach in the history of the world. I don't know. But I'm just like, people are convinced he was like great and he wasn't the problem. And they have conviction over it. Like, where does this conviction come from?
Why is one coach the problem and the other coach not the problem in the same?
It's bizarre to me. It is bizarre.
I'll never understand.
They interviewed
that.
everybody. They might have interviewed Jeff Kerr. I haven't confirmed it.
No, I've definitely.
They interviewed everybody to be offensive.
John, you have to get in the building to be interviewed. You know that, right?
They didn't interview me. Maybe they should have. They interviewed 17 people, and they just fired Scott Loeffler to be from quarterbacks coach.
Yeah, let's interview a guy we just fired. That makes plenty of sense.
I don't. Now you could say Nick is wrong, but Nick thinks Parks Frazier is the better option.
It's hard to argue with Nick's track record.
Now, what's interesting to me is, Parks is a quarterback. I mean, he was a quarterback in college. Where did he go to college? I forget, but Murray State.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was one of the FCS schools.
The Murray State, are they the Racers? Is that correct? Yes, Murray State Racers.
Yep, they are the Racers. Yep.
So he's a quarterbacks coach, and he's been like an assistant quarterbacks coach in Indianapolis when Nick was there. And then he pretty much jumped, and he was the interim offensive coordinator when Frank Reich got fired. So he actually took over the play calling. And then he got a job as a passing game coordinator in Carolina. And then he went down to Miami as a sort of a senior assistant with McDaniel. And then he came to Philadelphia.
Parks Frazier. Was he with Rule?
No, that would have been 23. Who was coaching him in 23?
Canales was starting 24.
Was he still there in 23?
I thought Rule was still there.
Maybe.
Well, he did it.
Let's look him up. 23 Panthers. Frank Reich was there. That makes sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so Frank struggled there as well. So that makes sense because he had him in Indy. And then he went down to McDaniel, which was what Nick used when I asked him. Like, he's got experience in both systems. And then he was here as passing game coordinator. So technically, he's been higher than a quarterbacks coach, I guess you would say. And it's kind of a step back. So I don't know how you look at it, to be honest. Other than Nick just wants to keep him around.
It's a weird setup, I'll say that, with the quarterback and the coaches and everything. It does feel a little bit like the proxy war, John. I like that use of phrase for it. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Well, it's definitely not a good thing.
No.
The question is,
not a good thing.
It might be just he's got to work out with somebody, and he likes Scott, and that's that.
Well, where's the loyalty lie though from the ownership? Like, are Jalen and Nick on even playing ground to them? Or do they prefer one over the other? Do they trust Nick over Jalen? I mean, do they see Jalen posting with Loeffler and say, why the heck did Nick fire this guy if the quarterback? Like I'd love to be a fly on the wall in one of those meetings to see what they.
I like to be a fly on the wall in the Young and the Restless Philadelphia Eagles edition, 24/7.
Yeah. Well, I think Howie gets along with Nick. I think Howie likes that relationship. As far as Jeffrey, I mean, I think he likes everything about Jalen Hurts as far as being a leader of his organization and being, face of the franchise and doing all the right things off the field, never getting in trouble.
I heard Jalen Hurts is the most popular Eagles player ever, but I guess the person who said that didn't know Randall Cunningham dated Whitney Houston at one point.
Is that Elliot? Yeah, poor Elliot.
Yeah. Damo and I had a fun little convo about that the other day.
So, yeah, but what? I lost my train of thought with Randall.
Speaking of weddings, that was confirmed. Randall Cunningham was in Whitney Houston's wedding.
Yeah.
That was confirmed.
Yeah, Randall had his own show. Remember the Randall Cunningham show?
He did.
The People Magazine version of Birds 365, talking about.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
I know you are, Jeff.
But
oh man,
yeah. I mean the. I guess it's possible. It's just innocent, and hey, he needs somebody to work out with, and he likes Scott, but it's weird. At the bare minimum, it's weird.
I call it the backhanded compliment.
I can't come up with another example for a guy who, and sometimes, getting fired is there's not animosity behind it. It's just all right, well, I'm hiring Josh Grizzard to be the passing game coordinator because I want to hire all 17 people I've interviewed for the offensive coordinator job.
He didn't get
and
all
if
17.
to get him, I got to give him passing game coordinator. That means I got to create a spot for Parks Frazier because I like Parks better than Scott. It could be as simple as that. It probably is. And Scott's the odd man out. But it's very weird to work with a guy who just got fired in that same offseason he got fired.
You don't see us with other quarterbacks. You don't.
No, it's very weird. It's very weird. And then the post on shows because Jalen Hurts is a very intentional person.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Oh, but I got in trouble for saying that last year.
He's got like 3 social media posts in like 3-month span, and one of them is.
Trust me, if Jalen Hurts wanted you to know he was at AJ Brown's wedding, he would have posted it.
Yeah, and if he wanted you to know he was working out with Scotty Leffler, he would.
Oh yeah, he'll tell you. If he wants you to know he's on this show tomorrow, he'll tell you.
Strikes me as a proxy war. I'll probably get a text from the Eagles. It's
sure
not. Shut up.
I'm sure you will.
Strikes me as a proxy war.
I don't care. Of all the Jalen Hurts moments I've covered, nothing was better than when the McManus article dropped. He looks right at McMullen, and I'm sitting next to him. He's looking right at us like, what do you want? Like, we don't know. Where'd that come from? John was trying hard not to laugh.
Yeah, well.
It's a hot day, too.
Was that the I didn't write it situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't write it. Yeah, that's John's. That's gonna be on John's epitaph. I didn't write it.
Yeah.
No, I like stop it. Although we don't get stop it as much anymore. I guess I don't drive John to drink as much as Jody drove John to drink. I still drive him to drink, but maybe not as much.
I got 2 things to put on John's epitaph in about 50 years. I didn't write it, and shut up, Rube.
I didn't say shut up, Rube. I just said shut up.
Yeah, same thing. Well, that could be in general to everybody.
Well, yeah.
Oh man, I remember hearing that. I'm like, oh, I love Johnny Mac.
Well, Vic enjoyed that, but I apologize to Vic because it's Vic's press conference. I shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, sometimes you got to put your foot down, John, even if it's not the right spot.
Well, I didn't apologize to anybody else. I apologize to Vic.
He apologized to Vic
because it's his press conference. But yeah, the person I did yell at interrupts people more than anybody else. So,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
just
And he has
as a-
snarky comments on every question.
just shut up,
Contact.
pretty much,
Yeah.
basically. Was deserved.
little bit
Eagles
of a
beats a lot
holier than
different than the
thou
Phillies.
attitude.
But
We all get along over there.
But again, media people are not like, I know people like media feuds. I don't understand it. That's why I don't talk about those things. I'm like, well, whatever. I mean, it's not.
We're all trying to
about,
do the same thing.
Yeah, it's not about us. It's about Vic. That's why I apologize to Vic.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Jeff, the schedule came out last week. We talked about it a little bit on Friday. We didn't talk about it much today. Anything you want to share about what you thought about the schedule release for the Birds?
Yeah.
I thought overall for a first place schedule, it wasn't really all that crazy to me. John pointed out some of the other people who got really dealt a crappy hand because
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of teams didn't finish, where you thought they would finish last year, and now some of these other teams got really a tough schedule. What'd you think of the Eagles' schedule that came out last week?
Oh yeah, like I mean, here's a perfect example. John probably pointed out. Look at the Rams. Like, look at all the primetime games they got to play and all the weird like travel stuff they have to do. Same with the 49ers. Like, look how the NFL decided to play just the 49ers. Oh well, we got to play in Australia. Let's go put them in Mexico City as well. Didn't they lose 2 home games?
I don't know if they lost 2. They
lost
can't
1.
Lose 2.
Yeah, Mexico City's the one they lost. But
Mexico City's a home game, yeah.
Yeah.
So I assume who are they playing?
I think
Melbourne?
the Rams lost the home game. I think the
that,
Rams lost
that has
the
to
home
be
game
a
in
Rams home
Australia.
game.
I
That's
keep
why
trying
I
to tell
hate
people.
international games. I hate international games.
And they're going to be every 2 years now. It's going to be nuts. Eagles are going to have to give up a home game in 2 years.
It's awful. Now, again, if you're good, you'll win, but that it's not about that. It's about they're just. It's sort of
They're
like it's sort of like the ESPN app. Everything's wonky that week. It's just wonky. Everything about it.
Yep.
And
we all know
teams
it.
don't
Nick's
wanna
going to
do
go to
it.
London as if he's going to go to London early, if he's going to wait till Friday to go.
They're not going early. I'll tell you that.
Doug made a vacation out of it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people went early when they first started going, but they've realized it's not that much longer than a trip to LA. So let's just make it as normal as possible.
And they do. Yeah. They'll leave Friday probably.
Yeah, maybe a day early. Yeah. Friday. Yeah. That's about it.
They have the 10th most travel miles in the NFL thanks to the London trip.
Yeah. Who cares? Like Seattle, Seattle gets screwed every year with that.
Yeah, they do.
So, I mean, they do fine.
Seattle has to go. They have a short week, and they got to go play on the East Coast.
Yeah, I mean, but it helps them, when teams, they have one of the best home field advantages in football because teams got to go out there.
I'm trying to explain this to people. Someone asked me this. I thought it was a really good question. Why is Eagles Rams at 1? Like the Rams, that's 10 o'clock their time.
Too, Jeff.
It was last year too. And I said, that's a really good question. Like I thought for sure that'd be 4 o'clock.
The Rams have 7 primetime games. The Eagles have 5 primetime games. And they play each other, and it's at 1 o'clock. That might be the strangest thing on the entire schedule.
It's really weird. And the Rams play all these primetime games in between that. That's like their 1 o'clock. It's their 1 o'clock game the first month of the season.
It might be the 2 best teams in the NFC.
That's a 1 o'clock Fox.
I mean, that's tough.
I'm not complaining about it at all.
Oh, I'm not either. About it. I'm shocked about it, though.
Yeah.
If there's one game at least, and by the way, when people talk about primetime games, the highest viewed window in the NFL is 4:30. Yeah. Not primetime.
And the NFL threw CBS and Fox a bone this year, by the way, with a lot of their 425 games.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's why, because they're the highest viewed. And, the Thanksgiving 425, 430 game is the highest.
The biggest one.
The biggest one of all, the entire season.
That's why
the biggest
Eagles
regular
Cowboys.
season game.
Yeah. Fox said, how can we top what CBS pulled off last year? Let's put the Eagles on against them. Screw the Cowboys.
But the league hates the Eagles, Jeff. The league hates.
Well,
what
I
I've
think one of the things the league is doing is, they keep giving us more games, like the Thanksgiving Eve game now and all that. But they're just trying to put the best matchups in those games so that they don't.
Yeah, it's Packers Rams. Like I'm gonna watch.
We're all gonna watch it. It's Packers Rams. So.
I'm gonna watch it. It's a good game. Like I forget the Black Friday game. I think that's a good game.
What is the Black Friday game?
It's gotta be an AFC game because everything else is NFC. The NFL realized NFC's got the biggest markets, and yeah. Oh no, sorry, Chiefs Bills is Thanksgiving night, so I lied about that.
Yeah.
Chiefs Bills will break freaking. That's gonna break number. CBS lost that game this year, by the way. They've had that.
Well,
game
the Chiefs better get good again because people are going to figure out they stink if they,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, Denver. It's the Black Friday game.
It's a pretty good Black Friday game.
Yeah, I mean, some of these teams are not going to be good. Pittsburgh, I don't think is going to be good. That's why I think the Eagles. So the 3 first place games on the Eagles schedule: AFC North, Pittsburgh; AFC South, Carolina, and what's the other one?
NFC West. Oh no, not NFC. NFC North, Bears.
NFC North, Bears, and the Cowboys get the Packers.
Yep.
They get the Ravens and the Buccaneers.
Yep. That's why the schedule's tougher. Oh, by the way, there's a reason why the Giants have a much tougher strength of schedule than the Eagles, even though the Eagles have the same opponents, because the Eagles can't play themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The Giants stink and they don't. That's my 5-year-old explanation for you.
Yeah.
Of why it is like it is. You can't play an 11-win team when you're the 11-win team.
People really have a difficult time with that.
They really do.
Warren, don't pay attention to those strength of schedule things. Look at the Warren Sharp strength of schedule thing.
I'll tell you, the toughest game for the Eagles this year is the Thanksgiving game. Cowboys on a short week in Dallas.
Yeah, that's a tough game.
Yeah, it's a very tough game.
So Warren Sharp, he used to do some work for the Eagles. Maybe still does. Does a strength of schedule thing that takes into account pretty much everything. So according to him, the hardest schedules are Arizona, Miami, Carolina, Dallas, and the Rams. A bunch of shitty teams. So easiest schedules: Detroit, Saints, Bengals, Browns, Jets. There you have it.
Well, the Saints are in the NFC South, so that doesn't surprise me. And I think the NFC North plays the NFC South this year, if I'm correct on that.
I'm surprised the lines, because the NFC North, I think, is still pretty good. You have the Bears,
It is, but what are your out of division?
Packers. Yeah, but they have they came in 4th place. That's why I'm picking the Lions to win that division.
Man.
Same reason the Bears won the division last year. They were in 4th place.
You know what? That's probably the one thing I forget. The Lions came in 4th last year.
Yeah. And the Bears are pretty good. The Packers are pretty good. And the Vikings are okay. I mean, I think Kyler Murray's going to be a hell of a lot better than J.J. McCarthy.
Do the Eagles have the longest playoff streak now in the NFL? 5 years. Because the Chiefs didn't make it.
I think the Bills are.
Oh, yeah. I think the Bills might be longer. Bills
Yeah.
made it in 20.
Yeah, I think the Bills
made it in 19 too. Yeah, it is the Bills. It's got to be the Bills.
Yeah, but the Eagles have been pretty good since 2021. So, I mean,
they have one losing season.
They act like a 5, but they act like a 5-win team, but they're not a 5-win team. They're an 11-win team that probably would have won 13 if 2 guys were healthy. So by all means, let's blow the whole fucking thing up. I'll never understand.
I have gone 12-5 this year, and I've always been like 1 game off in your direction in the last 5. And I pointed this out. I'm like, so expect 11-6 or 13-4.
Yeah, I went 11-6, and then the Jody exercise I went up though, so I finished at 11-6, And then if you're forced to go up one or go down one, I went up one.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They're a good team. It's just a matter of how good they're going to be.
And I think they're going to make their run in late October, early November, into December. I think they're going to lose one of those 3 at home they have in December. It'll probably be a Seattle because they never beat them.
That's a tough stretch, yeah. Even though that they're home games, that's a tough stretch. See, I think that you got there's 2 potential trap games I see, and one of them's Indy. Because
Indy is a trap game. Yep.
Yeah. Because you have the Seahawks, and who's before? You have no, it's not Thanksgiving. Who's
that the Seahawks is after Indy and the Cardinals are before Indy.
Yeah, the Cardinals. So you have a gimme against the Cardinals. So you're going to be feeling good. Even though the game's out there.
And I think I actually predicted they'll beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, even though I think it's their toughest game. I think they'll find a way to do it.
And they're going to look ahead and see the reigning Super Bowl champions and overlook Indy. There's a possibility
on a short week. Yep.
Yeah.
They'll be looking at Texans, Seahawks, Texans, 49ers.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
That's a tough stretch. They better get that Indy game.
And that is your typical 1:00 Sunday Fox game. They'll probably play like they did against the Panthers a couple years ago. And
that's the other trap game to me is Carolina coming back from London. No bye.
Oh, that is a trap game.
That's Dallas is the week after.
I have them losing to Dallas at home on Monday night.
Well, they better not lose to Carolina and Dallas at home. Yeah. But I think that Carolina game is a trap game because you're coming.
Washington's a tough game too. Both Washington games are. I don't like that.
I'm not in love with
in the first 8 weeks.
Even though I love Jaden Daniels, I don't like anything else about Washington.
Well, I don't like the fact Jaden Daniels is probably going to be healthy the first half of the season.
Well, yeah. I mean, he can do some things, but I don't like anything about them. I'm amazed.
They're not good.
I'm amazed they made the
got a great player, and they don't. I don't think they put any of the right pieces around him.
I don't like this.
Thanksgiving legend David Blau is their offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's their Sean Mannion. I was trying to come up with somebody with such little experience that was immediately thrown into offensive coordinator, and I couldn't come up with anybody. And then I said, "Oh, duh, David Blau."
In their own division,
in the same division.
Both had similar careers too.
I don't like their skill people.
They're old.
They're old. Their offensive line's okay. They did sign Chig Okonkwo, however you say his name. Okay. I like him. Yeah. He's okay. Their running backs stink. All due respect to Katron Allen, your boy. He's a rookie, 6th round.
He's a rookie. So are we including him in this?
I mean, they Krause, Merritt, Bill, and Rashad White. I guess he'll be the starter.
John, are you going down to Nashville with me week 2?
I doubt it, but we'll see. That's up to Zander.
I was just saying you might get a fun little trip out of it. You can work the game, and I can watch a certain player on Tennessee.
What trip is it?
Nashville, week 2.
Oh yeah, it's Nashville. Nashville. That's a cool place, actually. Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville's.
It's the last year at Nissan Stadium too, I think.
The best trip, well, you could argue London, but the best trip for the Eagles in the country is Nashville this year, in my opinion.
Yeah. Cool I should rank the trips for fun, like rank the.
That'd be a good one, actually. Fans would like that because fans.
Oh yeah, I mean Nashville's the trip. Like I have a feeling I've seen a lot of Eagles fans say, "Oh, cool, we get to go to Nashville in September."
Jeff, is your ass going to London?
No. I have a passport, but no.
You got a passport? Me too. I'm going to Italy next month.
I feel terrible. I have a passport, so I can just go see Canada. It's like one of those things. Like, I want to go see.
You like Canada? I've been to Canada when I was young and played hockey, and we had hockey tournaments in Canada. But outside of that, I've never been.
It's Toronto and Niagara Falls. That's like my reason to go to Canada.
Oh, Niagara Falls is cool. I used to go to Lake Placid almost every year, Jeff, for hockey tournaments.
Hey, you know what? It's funny. You would think Lake Placid's close to here, and it really isn't.
No, it's way out
It's in
there.
New York, but
Yeah.
it's not where you think it is in New York.
Yeah, it's far out. Yep.
Everybody's like, "Oh, it's in New York. It's by the sea." I'm like, "No, it's not."
Yeah, you're close to Canada, obviously, right there.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm old, so I used to go to Canada. Didn't need a passport. That's
Yeah, those were the days. Oh, yeah, John. I know. Tell us about how you just could walk through an airport,
Walk
without
through.
TSA.
Walk through to Mexico. It was I'll never forget the first time I went to Mexico. It was, on one side as you're returning, you have this giant building, and this was going to Tijuana, and you had this, obviously.
Is it like where the Miller scenario when they come back?
No, I was not smuggling large quantities of drugs, but I was going to Tijuana, and I remember it was basically a like sort of one of those gate, and not even that, like a nice hotel like swinging thing, just a metal gate that said no citrus on a freaking, looked like they ripped a box and wrote no citrus because Mediterranean fruit flies at the time. And that was it to go into Mexico. Coming back, you had to answer a bunch of questions and what you were doing down there, and did you meet, the Escobars? Well, they would be Colombia, whoever the big
Yeah, I was gonna say they're Colombia.
yeah, whoever the big narco was in Mexico at the time. But yeah, it used to be you could just go to Mexico and go to Canada. No more.
I had a taste of old school America yesterday when I was at a NASCAR race. I'm walking in, book bag, big cooler, beers in it, all these electronics are in my book bag. Yeah, go right ahead. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't have to put my bag on the table. Go right ahead. And I'm like, okay.
Don't advertise that. You're advertising soft targets. A lot of weirdos out there. I'm looking at.
Well, they did scam people, but maybe I was scammed. I don't know.
2009 is when you needed a passport to get to Canada. 2009.
It's not even that long ago.
No, it's not.
No, it wasn't. Like I could have went in college. That's weird.
Just go to Windsor, go to Detroit to Windsor. You just go over the bridge, man.
My parents are leaving the country for the first time in a month, and they're 70.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
where are they going?
Going to Bermuda.
Well, that's a good place to go.
Yeah, they're going on a cruise.
Oh, I'm out on cruises. I
don't like cruises.
I told them, I said, you guys are freaking the best time to go on a cruise.
They are freaking germ factories, man.
I
told them that.
Not a thing about them I like. I would never go on one, and I've never been on one, so I'm sure there are people who, well, you don't knock it.
What I don't like?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
I don't like sitting with people I don't know for dinner.
Yeah, right.
I don't like.
Yeah,
that.
That's kind of weird. So you're not a hibachi guy then, John?
No.
I would like to
not a bed and breakfast.
I want to sit with these.
You ever go to a bed and breakfast with just weirdos, and you got to eat breakfast with them?
Yep.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like when we're at the hibachi places in like Vegas or whatever, we're sitting with these randos. It's like me and my buddies are like, I want to sit with these people. Sit with my friends.
Exactly.
My one friend can catch food with his mouth. I want to throw it at him. They look at me like I'm weird. I'm like,
I don't know if that's the reason, but yeah, I want to sit with people I know. I don't want to sit with strangers.
You don't like people.
That's true. That's true. Not always the case. I used to like people. Now I've done all my liking people. I don't have to like people at this stage.
There used to be a cartoon. MGM did it. It's one of my favorite cartoons. It's called The Cat Who Hated People. That's John McMullen. It really is.
At least make me a dog.
But, yeah.
Oh, it's great. It's great too. All the guy does is complain about people. The entire segment, he complains about people. He hates them so much he goes to the moon and he finds out there are people on the moon. Well, they're aliens, but he still didn't like people.
I like an alien. They're interesting.
They were as annoying as people.
Mars? You guys think we're getting to Mars? Isn't that what Elon Musk?
Yeah, isn't that like the goal?
I don't think I'm making it to Mars. Maybe you guys.
I
used
can
to
almost
think it was
guarantee I won't be making it to Mars. I don't
30
even want
years
to
ago,
fly. I don't even want to fly to Florida for crying out loud.
Hmm.
Fly to Mars.
I still remember I have the cover of Time magazine from 1997 when we were talking about like actually building like hotels and like properties on the moon. Like that's a good one. Oh, this is gonna happen by like 2020. Well, it's 2026, and I think we went down on that.
Yeah. The time is interesting because you can find when we're the next ice age. Global warming. Yeah,
Global warming.
So many mistakes over the years.
I piss people off now because I say, 1996 is as far away from 2026 as 1996 was from 1966. People do not like that.
Don't confuse me with your statistics, Jeff.
With my 30-year logic.
Yeah. All right, let's bring it back to the Eagles. What else? What haven't we hit? We got the Scott Leffler proxy war. We got the schedule.
We got
OTAs are coming up.
OTAs are coming up next week.
Does that mean we're going to hear from Sean Mannion soon? I'm like, does this guy have a voice? I'm like waiting.
Next week, right?
I think they're waiting to post AJ. I think that's what they're waiting on. Yeah, that's my guess. That's
Hey, Sean, what do you think of AJ Brown in your offense? Well, I don't know. I haven't seen him.
Well, that's exactly what they're trying to prevent, in my opinion. And I remember when Christian Parker got the Dallas job, and I'm all for it. And I still think Sean's a big boy and can handle it. So I still think the Eagles are wrong. But I do get from the perception of like Christian Parker got a bunch of questions on, do you want Nakobe Dean? Do you want this player from the Eagles? And it's like, it's not his job, dude.
No, yeah, that's not his job to do that.
Yeah. And he would get those same questions about AJ Brown. And I think that's what they're doing. Typically, he would speak.
And I think that's where we're losing, like, the authenticity of these press conferences. Because, like, I'd be like, hell yeah, I want him.
Well, you know what? The vast majority of the people there aren't going to ask those questions. And the one or two that do, he deflected because by all indications, he's a bright guy. He deflected easily, and then it'd be over. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. It's you ask, and then that's it. It never hurts to ask.
That's a Howie question. That's Vic just.
Yeah, that's a Howie question. That's the answer.
Yeah,
it's above my pay grade. That's a Howie question.
Fucking simple.
But
not everybody can get away with. Not everybody can get away with Vic ease, so to speak.
Well, Vic's from a different cloth. He's cut from a different cloth.
Yeah, I mean, he just shuts it down. Sean would probably try to, that's where
he'll give you a one-sentence answer. Yeah, he's playing well.
Yeah, Vic. Yeah.
Did I tell you I got that from Bryce Harper the other week?
He's playing well.
Yeah, Bryce Harper usually gives me like really good answers to questions.
The Phillies are on a roll right now.
Oh, they are. But this is when they were in their funk.
It's because of Donnie baseball. Let's be honest.
That's all it is. Yeah. He's hitting, he's fielding, he's doing it all.
Players start hitting, and the team starts winning.
I would say it was George Costanza because he helped Don Mattingly out.
Yeah, different voice. That's all.
That's all it is. I mean, they do some things different than Rob. I'll say that, but I would say it's more attention to detail than anything. And Rob was very attention to detail too, but Donnie Baseball's like, okay, I'm going to one up this.
Look, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's got more to do with Schwarber being on a Barry Bonds pace and
and the hitters actually not having a 400 OPS.
Yeah.
Like you knew that was going to turn at some point, and the starting pitchers were actually going to pitch better at some point.
Yeah, I think but there is something to. I mean, that's what baseball managers are. I mean, they're messaging guys. You got to keep everybody motivated, and people stop listening. That's what happens all the time.
I mean, I know this for a fact.
What happened at Girardi with Rob Thompson? Same thing.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. The difference was Girardi didn't win. Thompson did, but Rob is very laid back. But they were very attention to detail. And I know Don does an extra 5 minutes of PFPs, or in the bullpen, they're all doing a minor bullpen session before they come in, and they have their weightlifting.
Didn't what's his name pitch a full game complete game? Sanchez?
Christopher Sanchez. Yeah, on Saturday.
And Mattingly wasn't even there, right? He had his son's graduation or something.
Yeah, I was gonna be a jerk and say, well, of course you're gonna win games when you cut Taiwan Walker and Zach Wheeler joins your rotation again. That's like the ultimate upgrade.
Yeah, right.
How many complete games have there been this season? You probably know that, Jeff. 5?
Yeah, that.
I'm surprised it's that high.
Roy Halladay still is the MLB leader in complete games since 2010, and he hasn't pitched since 2013.
Holy, is that real?
Yep, that is my favorite stat in baseball.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's like Tom Brady throwing the ball more.
That's
like Tom Brady throwing the ball more over the middle than Jalen Hurts, and he retired.
Yeah, how about how I found that out? Yeah. And he wasn't even playing in a couple of years.
Oh gosh,
there's certain
Eagles fans do not like that stat, by the way.
There's certain things I always remember about baseball, and I'm a Yankees fan. Sorry for the people out there, but in 1975, Catfish Hunter completed 30 games. 30 games. I believe he started 39 games. He completed 30 of 39 games.
Denny McClain won 30. What? How many games did he win in 1968?
Yeah, he won 30 something.
He
31 maybe.
There are 8 starting pitchers today that don't win 30 games in 3 years.
There will not be 30 complete games in all of Major League Baseball this year. That's my prediction.
Correct. Roy Halladay had 9 in 2010. I don't think there'll be 9.
I don't know what the record is. You probably got to go back to, the 1920s where they just kept going. But in the modern era, in the modern era, that's kind of modern. 75 to complete 30 games.
I'm a firm believer of records weren't made to be broken unless you have a Cy Young record. Then it's not made to be broken.
Well, we'll see.
Will White is the answer, who completed 75 games in 1879.
So dead ball era.
Jack Chesborough, also a Yankee, completed 48 in 1904.
What was John McMullen doing in 1979? 1879. See how
1879. Not even a twinkle in anyone's eye at that point.
No. Was there even a McMullen tree yet?
Well, probably. I assume so. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I know there was a Kerr tree.
I assume
we looked up our family's lineage at one point.
I never looked up my lineage.
No, I never did one of those goofy things.
We have War of 1812 heroes in my
First of all, yeah, I mean, I'm very cynical, so I'm calling bullshit on that. Like what am I throwing some spit on something and send it off?
Swab, and they're telling me my entire lineage for the last 1,000 years. Okay.
See, we did this before Ancestry.com was a thing. We found this out like the 80s and 90s.
What they're really doing it is sending it to the CIA to keep tabs on you.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's what they're
My
doing.
favorite is like when you're when you're applying for jobs these days, do you have a relative that served as a veteran? I'm like, yeah, I had a couple of them. Does that count? Like does the War of 1812 count?
Well, you're going. Hey,
they're veterans, right?
Genealogy, yeah.
Yeah,
my great cousin was in the War of 1812.
12. I wonder what he did. They said he served in it. I don't know what he did.
Yeah,
he must have lived.
I'm calling bullshit on the. I'll probably get an email from them too. The genealogy people. You're gonna spit on something and tell me what my family heritage is back 1,000 years.
On a swab. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on it.
I bet McMullen was like a czar somewhere.
I should be a czar of logic. There we go.
Where's the graphic? We're putting this on a T-shirt, Jeff Kerr.
Johnny Logic. I would wear that to Eagles training.
I got a couple requests for this in a T-shirt. Actually, I might have to print that one, Jamie.
Oh my god, I would wear that thing. You know what? More people would know what that meant than most people.
I'm surprised we don't have Birds 365 t-shirt. I'm all for it. Let's merchandise this.
Yeah,
thing.
we got to make some merchandise. I got to get on that. I reached out to, I think Dro in the chat actually works for a merch company. I got to reach out to Dro and get him doing some stuff for us. But all right, Jeff, your final thought. We've reached the end of the program just about.
Oh, boy.
Friend. Your final thought on a Monday in the middle of the off season here for Birds 365.
Boy, you guys just gave me content for days.
There we go. That's what we do. Especially in the off season. You got to generate.
Was Jalen Hurts at AJ Brown's wedding? Inquiring minds want to know.
Now I'm using the proxy war thing with Scott Leffler, so you got to get a different angle.
Oh, I am doing a different angle. I ain't doing a proxy war thing. You can handle that backlash. I'm gonna put does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He's with him. You know?
It's a little weird though. That's all.
Jalen Hurts is with his ex.
What was that? What does that mean?
Jalen Hurts is with his ex, in a sense.
What, AJ?
That's his ex-coach.
Scott Leffler.
No, his ex-coach.
Scott Leffler.
Oh, man, I'm done with the People magazine. All right, Jeff, good stuff, brother. We'll talk to you next week.
This is what we get on May 1.
I mean, it's just Philadelphia is like they're like the Cowboys, but they win. That's what they're becoming.
That's a good analogy.
They're
like the Cowboys, but they win. That should be a shirt.
Maybe we'll come up. Yeah, we got to come up with segments too for the show. We'll just do TMZ time.
TMZ Philly. Well, all we got to do is follow John Clark's Instagram.
Let me jump off of this. That'll be my my bathroom break when we do those segments. I'm uninterested. All right, good stuff, Jeff. We'll talk to you next week.
Zander?
Yeah, I'm out. All right, brother. Thank you, man.
Yeah. See you, Jeff.
There's Jeff Kerr joining us right here on Birds 365. All right, Johnny Logic. A good Monday here on Birds 365. We are, what did you say? We're a week out. So next Monday OTAs, or is it next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday, a week from tomorrow. Next Monday is Memorial Day, I believe. We got an early Memorial Day.
Yeah. Holy Nikes. That's next Monday?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I
think you're right. Now
I got to double check that.
Memorial Day. Yeah, that would be next Monday, John McMullen. Holy crap, dude. This stuff is cruising on by. All right, Johnny Mac, your final thought here on a Monday, a week out from Memorial Day, a week and 1 day out from
OTA, on-field OTAs.
And then
we'll get to see the motion. We'll get to see the shifts.
15 days out, John. 15 days out from the projected trade of A.J. Brown.
Yeah, getting close to post-AJ life. I think everybody's come to grips with that. I think. Anybody out there still holding out?
We got a couple in there. We got a couple holding out.
All right. Are they going to memory hole it, or are they going to?
I don't know. I think Alfredo is in here. I think he's a AJ Brown will be here type of guy.
All right, Alfredo. All right, I feel for you, brother.
I call him broccoli because chicken Alfredo is not bad, so I call him broccoli. All right, Johnny Mac. Good show, brother. I will catch you tomorrow. All right, man.
All right, thanks all. See ya.
All right, thanks, J-Mac. There's Johnny Mac, John McMullen joining us right here on Birds 365. Good show today. Appreciate all you guys for being here today. I don't know why Rich keeps telling me to get a nap. Rich, I feel pretty good. I don't think I need a nap. All right, Rich. But not a whole lot happening in Eagle Land, obviously, at this time of the year. Waiting for OTAs at this point. We're now well past the NFL draft and everything that came with that. So the excitement of the new players that we've landed has subdued until we learn a little bit more about those players. Obviously, I'm excited to see what OTAs look like next week. And then, damn, I can't believe it's already Memorial Day. Rich, what's up, my dude? What's up, brother? Did anybody watch? Is anybody into racing? Is that not NASCAR? Did anybody watch the Nürburgring 24-hour at all this weekend? That was freaking awesome. It made me realize how shitty racing F1 is at this point. The racing done in F1 is a crime against racing. It's a crime against racing. Yeah, me too, Rich. I'll be heading down to the shore at some point. I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize it was this weekend. I really didn't. I had my beautiful goddaughter's first birthday party this week. Pretty awesome. This weekend. So that was pretty good. Yeah, Steven, they're playing good baseball now, man. What are they, 24-23, I think their record is? They're above 500 now. Good for them. They fought back. They fought back post-firing of Rob Thompson. Bunch of betas. They needed their coach to get fired in order to turn it on. Nice. Nice. You need Rob to get fired in order to start hitting the ball? Really? Come on. Business is booming for the... I don't know about that, Rich. They're a game above 500, my guy. Relax. Relax. Can I tell you guys something that I do not give a shit about? You guys could probably guess. You guys know what I don't care about? Anybody want to take a guess at what I don't care about? The attendance of A.J. Brown's wedding. I get married next month. You guys think J-Mac will attend my wedding? I think he got invited. I'm pretty sure we sent the invite. I got to ask him. I didn't even ask him yet. You got what's the over-under on John and Cilio attending my wedding? And then if John doesn't attend, I'm going to make sure to hold a segment on Birds 365. John did not attend Zander's wedding. What does this mean for the future of Birds 365? What does this mean for the future of the National Football Show? Oh, gosh. How grown men became a bunch of gossip and drama queens, I don't know. Wild Bear checks in and says, guys, take a picture. Diana and A.J. Brown took a breath at the same time. Man, being a fan can be tired. I'm with you, Wild Bear. It's goofy. Goofy. Drama in the 365 community. I'm gonna make sure I tell John and Cilio, if you guys don't attend my wedding, all right, I will not give a singular fuck. Okay? I will not give a singular fuck. John Belen. I actually think these are pretty good. Big Mike, well done on the numbers. I think pretty good. You know, John, it's only a drive away, so maybe he shows face. Maybe, hey, Zander, hey. Congrats, Zander, and then he dips. You know, Sills got to get on a plane. Yeah, I'm putting that one at 0. 3 is even a little rich, Big Mike. You guys remember back in December when we were on the show? You got to invite me to the wedding. I'll be there. Rich, I'll take some cash. That's kind of it. They're beefing. Yeah, me and J-Mac are beefing, so he will not be attending the wedding. John, that's true, Rich. That might be one of the reasons that he won't go. That might be one of the reasons. Zander, film a quick vlog at some point. Right? I will. I will troll them. I will troll them if that happens. Z, I got 11-6. I think that's what I had too. Or no, I think I had 12-5. I think I had 12-5. Italians do it right. Yeah, right, Daz. That's it. That's all I need. That's all I need. Yeah, we're shopping places to live now. Sills and John together. I don't think it's gonna happen, folks. Big Sills will, wow, that's a Philly Don. Let me tell you something. That's a bold prediction. I mean, if they're going, they would both be at the same table for sure. I don't know. I have not done one thing for the wedding. You guys are all, no. I think my fiance doesn't care. She knows how I am. I don't know how her family feels about it, but it is what it is. Yeah, Tony, we found some good stuff actually, Tony. I did, at least for me and them, but you know, not the easiest thing to do, to be honest with you. Has Sills been to Philly? Yeah, he's been to Philly. Not like recently, but he's been to Philly. Sills and John, yeah, I'll have to walk up. Who's got some advice for the groom? Not wedding it, not marriage advice. I don't need your guys' marriage advice. I'm talking about wedding advice. Like on the day of the wedding. I can just put my tux on and go through the motions, right? Not go through the motions. I'm excited to do it, but I'm excited to be married. I'm not excited for the wedding. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You know, the whole wedding thing, it's like, all right. Exactly right, Rich. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. It's kind of what I've gotten here. There you go, Curtis. Yeah, wait, Reyes, listen to this curveball. Listen to this curveball. You want to hear a curveball? You know how normally when you go, now I'm Catholic, so I'm going to be getting married in the Catholic Church. Now, but even for people who aren't Catholic, this applies to anybody who gets married. You know how normally there's like, I guess, what do they call it for a non-Catholic? A Catholic wedding, it would be the priest. I don't know what they would call it for a non-Catholic wedding, like a celebrant or something, or I don't know, whoever does your wedding. Normally they do the whole repeat after me, right? Like, I, Alexander James Krause. Okay, you repeat. Well, this guy, my priest for our wedding, God bless him, he says to me, I do not do the vow. I will not say your vow. You will not repeat after me. Okay. You have to memorize your vows, and you will have to do you will have to say the entirety of your vows without repeating after me. He said, it's an insult to your intelligence level. I said, yo, Father, appreciate your confidence in my intelligence. Can I repeat after you? Nah, he's not allowing that. So now you're right, Grace. I have to memorize the vows. Actually, I sent a text. Let me send that text again. Oh, he's a priest. Yeah, I think they get paid. We give him a little gift, don't we? I mean, so now I got to be up on the altar and yeah, right. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And there's nobody there helping me out. It's like, all right. Could be tough. Could be a tough one. We'll find out. No, yeah, I think it will. I think it will, Fanatic. I think that's fair. Yeah, I got the priest to get. We're doing that. Did you pick out a wedding gift? I'm working on it, Curtis. We're going to Italy right after. So, Curtis, we kind of floated the idea. Now, you guys know whenever you tell a woman, you know, hey, we'll do it then. You still have to do it. But we were floating the idea of, you know, doing wedding gifts in Italy for each other. But, you know, you still got to give something. So, I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out. I'm not all worried about that. I get my woman quite a bit of gifts. Yeah, Big Mike, that's actually a good idea. I'm gonna have to do that. Wear your meta glasses and you can see your. What do you mean see them? Fredo, let me know. Oh, Fredo. Yeah, Fredo, I think I'm good, buddy. Thanks. Fredo, I think I'm good, man, on you singing to me at my wedding. Zander, don't be like Nick at his first prize cover. It's tea time. That could be coming, dude. Like a deer in the headlights up there. Like a deer in the headlights. Yeah, Curtis, I looked at that too. Like the little diamond earrings or something. That'd be good. Hopefully she's not listening right now. Me neither, Race. I'm really not either. It's funny because I do what I do, but you know, there's something different about talking to a camera than talking in the front of a church on the altar. I got a feeling, Reyes, I'm going to be in the same boat. You know what I think I get lucky with, though? Are they going to make my fiance do it first? Ladies first, right? You would think. Who does the first vow? It's got to be her, right? Or is it me? If it's me, that's a struggle. Because if it's her, then I can hear her do it first. I'll be like, remember that line. Yeah, women first. All right, so that's good. The pressure's really on Emily. Me? No, I think it's her first. No? Nice, Reyes. We're not writing our own vows or anything. I mean, maybe we would do that privately, but we're not, like, our vows are, the Catholic Church vows. Who reads their vows first? See, now Daz is saying men. Who reads vows first? Wow. It's me first, folks. It's 100% me. Yes, you guys are right. Daz is correct. Daz is correct. Fuck. Oh, man, this is going to be funny. No, I'm not going to mess it up. I'll be good. Grok says you. Yeah, it's going to be me. Let me see. Did should we practice? I take you for my lawful wife to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until death do us part. Whoa! Yeah, I'm writing it on the hand. I got it. That's like 42 different things. To have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until death do us part. Woo! I got to put this in a song. I can memorize songs easily. I got to put this in a song. Who can make this into a tune for me? I'll grok it or something. Put it into AI. Say, turn this into a song, and then I'll sing it. No, they don't. You just missed my story. The priest said no. The priest said you have to memorize it, Fly Eagle Fly. You missed my story. The priest trolled. He's like, you got to say it. I'm not guiding you. It's an insult to your intelligence. I'm like, thanks, Father. Thank you. Curtis, that's funny. Curtis, sounds like you have some good wedding stories. Yeah, I got to start saying it. See, let me look at this. This is like the book that the Catholic Church uses for, like, where are the vows in this thing? Because I think there's two options, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, go to page 90. Oh, I like the first option way better. That other one, there's a lot of different things going. I like this one better. I take you to be my wife. I promise to be faithful to you in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, to love and to honor you all the days of my life. That is, Rich, you can't be innovative, my guy. This is the Catholic Church. They give you the vows. This is the Catholic Church. They give you the vows. I'm texting my fiance right now. No. Yeah, version 1, much easier. Yeah, Alex. Oh, of course, Philly done. I love my full name. I like my full name more than I like Zander. Way more. Alexander James Krause. We're going to do that. You guys are going to help me practice, all right, leading up to this sucker. What are we, a month out? Yeah. Alexander James Krause. Take you, Emily Reese, to be my wife. I promise to be faithful to you in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, to love you and to honor you all the days of my life. That's the one. That other one is tough. That other one is tough, folks. Oh, that's tough. I take you for my lawful wife to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until death do us part. See, I don't like the part that says till death do us part. I don't know. Add a dramatic pause. Hey, Reyes, let me just get this thing out, all right? I can't be going dramatic. I'll save the dramatic pauses for you guys. No, I won't be late. I won't be late. I won't be late. Reyes, my whole plan is when the nerves set in, I'm just gonna look at Emily. You know, fuck the church. Not the church. The rest of the congregation. You know? Yeah, AJ, that's right. Alexander James. A dope name. Alexander James Krause. I love my full name. I think it's a great name. Angela says, I'd be so nervous. I forget my own name. Angela, it kind of happens to me too. Classic, Rich. Classic black, brother. That's my style. I'm not no white, no colored suit, black tux. Nah, not the all white, brother. That's not my style. I don't dislike it when other people do it, but for me, I'm going straight black tux. Classy black tux. Don't forget to check the bottom. My brother went savage mode with his shoes. So my brother lives in New York City, or he works in New York City. So he got his tux custom built for him, tailored him. Not tailored. The guy who made it was like, I'm not tailoring it. That's an insult to me. You know, it's full custom. And then he bought the red bottom shoe. Shoes. So my brother was on the altar. He had the red bottom shoes. It was awesome. It was freaking awesome. It was classic. Make sure your ring fit. Yeah, and I have some husky ass fingers, so I need like the ultimate size ring. I would imagine I'll be shaking a little bit for sure. Nah, Big Mike, if I had the chops, I would go tails. Tails are fire. I got special. Yeah, I didn't do the special shoes. I mean, I guess I still could, but Rich, anyone need lightly used? That's funny. My son and his grooms are more black. Yeah, I'm going straight tuck shoes. I thought about that because I love Nikes, but I'm like, I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want to do that. That's actually good. That's actually Rich. It's actually a good call. Dad says we wrote help on the bottom of my brother's shoes. That's funny. I won't be doing that to mine. That's not my style. The first lines of my vows were an Adam Sandler line. Come on, Ryan, you used an Adam Sandler line for your vow. I got a good pop from everyone. Then I read my real vows. Oh, that's good. Ryan, that's funny. Boy, Ryan, you're a jokester, aren't you, Ryan? You're a jokester. That's awesome. Here's Ryan again. Yeah, I had a full custom suit with Eagles logos and the jacket, and then at the reception, I wore the jacket. Wow, that's dope. That's dope. That's funny. Any advice, Chad, on getting your girl ring size? You got to, yeah. I forget what I did. Actually, you know what, T-Time? I had to bring it in and get it resized. And my fiance's, when I got her a ring. Yeah, I had to bring it in. It was a little too big. It was a little too big. You know what to do, T-Time? Get it bigger than you think. And then you can order these little things on Amazon. They're like little plastic things. And they go under it around the ring, so it makes it fit for the time being. And then you can bring it into wherever you bought it and have them resize it. Is that right? More times than I no, that's not true for my woman. That's not true for. Yeah, we're doing. Here's Gaddy. What's up, dude? Zay, what up? I heard you're going to Amalfi for your honeymoon. Man, I just got back from there. Definitely swing by Capri as well. 45-minute boat ride. So gorgeous. Yeah, Gaddy, I am doing that. We have the Amalfi boat day or whatever it's called. You take a boat over there, right? Yeah, we're doing that. So I got that. That's going to be sick. I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to Italy. I've always wanted to go. I'm not a big travel guy. I never have been. Never liked it. Just not my cup of tea. But I've always wanted to go to Italy. I've always wanted to go to the Vatican in Rome. So we're going there for 3 days, and then we're doing 8 days on the Amalfi Coast. Multiple different spots, yeah. So I'm excited. That should be pretty cool, man. Italy's always been the one place I wanted to go. Yeah, see, Dylan, you got my priest said no can do. You know, my priest is like a scholar type of guy. He's great. He's a really, really awesome priest, but he's a scholar, you know, and he's like, it's an insult to your intelligence for you to repeat after me. I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding me. Just read the damn vows and let me repeat after you, dude. Oh, it's funny. You're going to check out. I don't know. That's not one that's on our itinerary, but we also left a lot of openings in the. We didn't want like packed to the gills. I'm like, dude, I'm on my honeymoon. I want to like relax. You know, I want to like take a deep breath. I want to like lay back and relax a little bit. So our itinerary, we have stuff, but then we also have a lot of openings, you know, where we can fill in the blank on what we want to do, where we want to go and stuff like that. So. You'll love it, Z. Been there 5 times. Wow, Rich, nice. Wow, look at that, dude. That's freaking awesome. Dale says, I got married last year, October 17th. Now we have twin boys on the way. They're supposed to be born October 17th. That's freaking awesome, Dale. That's awesome. My fiance would love to hear that. She wants twins so bad. She's like, got 2 done, 1 pregnancy. We want a lot of kids. We want at least, I don't know, 4 to 6 kids, maybe more. Who knows? Who knows what God will bless us with? Who knows what God will bless us with? That's a beautiful thing, though, man. Congratulations. That's awesome. All right, guys, I got to run. I got to do some stuff, get some stuff knocked out today. I appreciate all you guys for being here today and for talking through the the wedding ceremony with me. We'll have more of these conversations as we are in the middle of the offseason. I don't think every single second has to be about A.J. Brown or whoever. So I appreciate you guys talking about it with me. Hit that like button, guys. Thanks to all of you guys. Rich, thank you, brother. Big Mike, appreciate you. Chuck, thanks, Chuck. Fly Eagles Fly, appreciate you. Age, Cliff, Dill Lock, congrats, brother. Gaddy, thanks for checking in on Italy and Amalfi Coast, brother. Appreciate it. And Ryan G, congrats, brother. Appreciate you for the what you brought today, per usual. And love all you guys. Hit that like button, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later, everybody.
EAGLES, Eagles.